This is an excerpt from the Bridge to Freedom material from Beloved Archangel Michael. The original Trinity of Association to be restored here on earth. You have been told that it was I who brought the Holy Innocents to earth in the very beginning of their habitation here. Ascended masters and angels daily walked and talked with the mankind of earth in those early days, and then there was no veil of mare, no discordant human creation of any kind between ourselves, the mankind of earth, and the elemental kingdom, the sylphs of the air, the undines of the water, the gnomes of the earth, and the salamanders of the fire. You have been told, too, that in the beginning our planet was just as pure, beautiful, and perfect as the seven mighty Elohim of divinity could create it, and as the directors of the forces of the elements and the elemental kingdom could prepare it for habitation. In that day we had the Trinity of activity, association of the angels, the earth's people, and the elementals, all lovingly cooperating in daily and hourly association. Now there is to be the re-establishment of this divine pattern here again. It is the reinstating of the perfect balance of the Holy Trinity in action, the divine realm, the human realm, and the elemental realm, the governing of all of which will come under the direction of your beloved Ascended Master Saint Germain, as he occupies the office of the Lord of the Seventh Ray, reigning here for the next 2,000 years. This golden age, which is now to be ushered in by the advent of the seventh ray's domination here, shall be permanently sustained and expand forever. You can readily see that just so long as there exist feelings of antagonism between the elemental kingdom and the human kingdom, builded through centuries of ingratitude on the part of mankind for the selfless and constant services of nature, while there is rebellion within the feelings of the members of the nature kingdom against mankind's needless and wanton destruction of food and various gifts of nature, to which that kingdom has given so much of their very life and energy to produce, the elemental kingdom and mankind cannot be joyously and fully united in cooperative service. It is only the power of divine love from beloved Neptune and Virgo, Aries and Aromasis, and particularly in their use of the fire element, which has transmuted as much of the human effluvia as the cosmic law will allow from time to time, which has kept the nature kingdom from rebelling violently and casting back upon the human race in the form of tornadoes, floods, and various cataclysmic activities, some of the destructive effluvia of man's own discordant creations. During these changing times, when the earth and all her evolutions are being purified and freed from much which really never should have been, the angels of protection and faith in God are required to serve even more actively here than ever before. Our glorious regent, Sanat Kumara, and Lord Gautama, the great Lord of the world, have recently asked me if we would allow the retreat at Banff to remain open for at least 7 succeeding months, in order that we might magnetize and radiate forth more of that protecting power through conscious chelas here, through the nature kingdom, and through the emotional, mental, etheric, and physical vehicles of all mankind embodied here. Of course, we acquiesced to this request. We are extremely grateful for this added opportunity. Beloved ones, you are now part of a great cosmic change, which is little known and less understood by the minds of billions of people who belong to the evolutions of this planet. Perhaps it is well that, for the most part, that the outer minds of the people are not cognizant of such a change, because of the tremendous fear which practically dominates many life streams. I am eternally grateful for your calls to have the cause and core of all fear removed from yourselves, all mankind, and the elemental kingdom, as well as I do ask that you continue and increase those calls until each one of you has become absolutely fearless. Then you will stand in your own place, wheresoever your own God of light desires you to be, with the blue ray of faith in the supremacy of Almighty God and His power over all. This ray directed through your own spiritual column, animating your aura and flashing forth into the atmosphere around you as a power of positive energy which can raise into confidence and faith the quality of fear of an entire city, a nation, or the planet itself. Try not to personalize energy. Now, in your daily endeavors, as you move upon a comparatively peaceful course of living, you have opportunity hourly by the use of the violet flame to practice raising the quality of unhappily qualified energy of fear and other discordant feelings whenever you see such energies acting that are less than the virtues of God. This can and should really be a joy instead of a tedious task if you realize that through this practice you are rising into individual mastery. Again and again the Ascended Masters have said, try not to personalize energy. If that energy was shadowed, depressive, inharmonious, or unhappy in any way, that energy needs forgiveness, purification, and redemption. Be not concerned with the personality through which that soiled energy flows. If it is discordant, it is some of God's beautiful life which temporarily has been imprisoned in discord and is now calling for freedom. Please do not become so concentrated in your attention upon the form through which the soiled energy is flowing that you actually add your own resentful feelings to it, and thus increase the riptides of those distresses, which riptides sweep constantly back and forth through the earth's atmosphere. In the name of God, let us recognize the fact that wherever there is a sharp word, a depressed feeling, an impatient gesture, wherever you sense heaviness, lethargy, discouragement, or any of the negative qualities, try to realize that that energy is really part of the body of glorious Helios and Vesta, or some other solar lord. This life has been imprisoned temporarily by discordant thought and feeling by those who really know not what they do. The opportunity of the wise, then, is the immediate use of the violet transmuting flame and other purifying flames of the sacred fire to raise and redeem that discordantly qualified energy, thus not only freeing that energy but gaining personal mastery by the practice of the use of the sacred fire as well. One need not audibly call forth the sacred fire if he is in the presence of individuals who need assistance, but who are not cognizant of the Ascended Masters and their ability to help them. However, through the power vested in you by the presence of the immortal threefold flame of eternal truth anchored within your beating heart, you can silently call forth an all-powerful focus of the violet transmuting flame, which will instantly go into action to control and purify that destructively qualified energy. You can raise that quality of energy in yourselves as well as in an inanimate object by the use of the flame. Beloved Serapis Bey told you some time ago that the ascension flame was so practical that it could actually tune a piano or tune up a motor. The ascension flame could render you many practical services in the restoration of those so-called inanimate objects which you have around you in your home. Individually, I challenge you to invoke that ascension flame to blaze up constantly through your homes and see what it will do for the substance and actual appearance of your present furnishings, not to mention what it can do and will do if you will allow it to do so by your feelings of acceptance of its power to transmute the disharmonies which often arise in family life. Our beloved Saint Germain long ago promised you assistance in the use of the violet transmuting flame through and around your homes, if you will just believe in its reality, efficacy, and immediacy of action for you, self-sustained and ever-expanding. So command it to be. If you feel you have not enough faith in its willingness and ability to serve you, ask me to give you my feeling of that faith, which you will require. I live but to express the reality and power of Almighty God, the great I Am, as the supreme source of this universe. And remember, the Creator is always greater than his creation. Therefore, whenever your destructive use of free will has satisfied your feelings and the distressing experiences of the outer world, the everlasting love and mercy within the heart of the Eternal Father are not only willing but able to allow you to come home, there to live in invincible eternal harmony and peace, and go out no more.